Right, 17 minutes to the hour 3. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for tuning in to Peace 1043 FM. Yatnas ye ye babe henia koso atin entertainment mo entertainment review jumedie. So my member studio no hanum say na me pan for atna say make us say we Chris Chomana atna say studio no hanum say chile akua nipa and so atna say and any day the time say Chris Babe join the team Chris akwaba
yeah ja
na boko there
bibia boko
welcome on show Tilly. Thank you. Anyone say say si ade nsuo na settle to bibia you okay
yeah nsuo na settle ba me dem na say
what dem I say
I think nsuo no eta ho no e say walls no you know yeah but nsuo no dia achiko kra
achiko ntcc no you are doing repairs
say na etinyoma ase na fe na etotobi na walls na ase na fe na ye be fix ni nyina ne ade
can you imagine enti kakra wenye bia no chese oh Kose. That means Christmas you said in years how.
David. You see there.
Ni abenye bia no do be.
I dey fix cause anya cry. E ba sa won say nsuo no so bon, ti no e dem ho akasa ama small na be gina dem ho.
Right. Shatawale and Enra Naoda Enra Jo 17th October. Now tell me say Shatawale with how many years ni?
Almost stone boy akoka ni age ma asase apai.
Me say almost see with dia here. I am saying that okay,
the last time I share on a Paul Adomotre interview no won't be saying say with this one. I say we 37 or 38. Yeah.
I think some who's 38.
That 37 or 38 or some numbers no. But you say stone akoka Shatawale age. But me who sabi you name age or kai. Say o kai na asase pai.
What do you mean asase pai?
Okay,
55.
55. I say we. Or the sister say Shatawale 55.
So I mean, let me say happy birthday to Shatawale. Yamani chinkwa. So nia ye nim ne se within fear eduasan wotwe 38. But quite some man for being nim ni se Shatawale di 38. I don't know Chris. Say that you I mean me name so be jina ho na ye but why do you think some man for that to say be Shatawale di 38?
Me ankasa mo de anya me wan say we di 37 38 you know because me kai say ne bandana day scrampo no na me that time na mo uni and me girlfriend then no ate bandana na onim nipa ye friend bandana to okoti ni din na o say ohun me ne hwe video ni ehun bandana no say enye Charles ni amani na me say na oyede no nim no say o na classmate na me hwe me ex ne so ni age ene Shatawale age a one ni nyina atena classroom dade a I have no grounds to doubt the age, But say omo munsu njindi no me sure say
can't you say girlfriend that same age as maybe 38 37
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Na say omo munjindi ni so no metia say because a shatter was story. He has been here before and then went down for like 10 years. Intino obi on shede nim ni ye ni so no. I know who send your back can age in album my edunisa. Intino metia say nkrofo be doubt ni but Shatter we menya sure say we kwan anim kro be di be 40 years.
Okay.
Yeah, wako kram po na bia 40.
Well, so say bakum so me hu say nra birthday party kakra bi oye any car Range Rover I see one more dia channel say den ebi so sa Range Rover bem so me hu da Range Rover dey be almost spray no almost and respray ni e car ho. I don't know whether if we videos ni bi any sa Range Rover.
We kwa me hu ye dem SMD verse omo ko party na say.
Okay.
And na me hu ye ba Range Rover dem say dat hu komo bia cause I know Sister Wale there no matter what no or make sure say the fan base no almost supporting it there or maybe bia or the omo eka hu. I think that's one thing I respect it. I want hu. On say that it's not like some artists now or we be kesia you don't see the fan bases there because most of them we know that in Crawford they are always pushing them on social media attending their events when they come to Tawale akasa there SMD verse only when you grow crowd so I'm show you part they show up like omu pian kasa omu dressing and not from sir it's I think so na me hu ya but anything about Range Rover there men said until hu sem bia say.
Okay, and I'm sure sir there's one thing I very very particular about sa particular birthday way and he said sa birthday enra and odi ni album back wa yedi hun komwa kasa ho be 3 years ni aman for na da ben na obe you album be pure akwa said the second coming of Jesus Christ mini aman for eka ho asem papa so say no di kama anya ntie no say enra yen birthday or gift of God album le pie I don't know so I just saying aba
Embayo, yes, you drop one project off the album.
So I'm cash out too.
Yeah, cash out. In a cash out, say no one talk.
I didn't know about talk.
I say social media for say wako sample. In fact, almost when they get sample, wako left it. The entire last by Benna Boy.
Okay.
It's in any almost tukokum. It's you say the night before Enrano. I thought the album was going to drop. Na me nim crowd that say album name drop it. It's Enra na me say o see about drop it one project off the album. When you drop it album ni biom. It's say there nim da GOG ne bad here.
But that's not fair. I mean because yes, una ode ho. Una ode ho ni apese oye na be. But to me etna say catch a man for say album no. Finally album ne be back out on the 17th which was your birthday. Na say bia amanfo ehwe nim say obeyi album because one can't amanfo say obeyi one song or one project of whatever I want to call it no o say album about and am ebo anyesa so far anyesa no interview so akonyina I think say he said it
yes baby na o ka say Ghana media be fan and pass you fine discuss ya
he said you're going to come out with an album and some of these things sometimes untimi mfa amanfo no so ni agros and akren senator.
Oh yeah, and the kwan so ano no. Oh, ne kwan so ano no because ope ni state channel no or social contract with senye enye Ghana for nyina krampo and fans. Oh, and entime ma say de bia no so no o de offense no adwin be di agrosa. Oh. Now Shatter and Shatter movement. Shatter for instance nanka so you're fortunate to have Shatter movement omo so committed to him and then they feel say Send at the end no for life is for life. But if it had been any other brand, be cramponanka by now, no almost start here losing interest. And if there is a reason why the album is not coming out, fine. Initially, no, one of the reason was he wanted a publisher who can actually invest so much money into that, which was quite okay. But some statements in say about out and sana or that album nedi, US. Inti se what done edin so na se bibia san fima ba it's just fair say obeba back now say waba be ka kire o fans in particular because all his communique pointed to the fact say this album nankasa kra so release ya Ghana for no release ya man fans. Well, and the fans, we are all fans of Shatta Wale. Intino say if obekos were disappointed o fans and so say bia energy na opesi the receive album no embedu no na sa hoden no crampo na akofom. Intino yes a bit questionable la. Well, he's not under so much obligation say obey explaining mom, but also consider the social contractor or war with the fans now. It's just fair for him to come out to say yes, I plan releasing an album. Say na samba intini asa a movie akonenim kakra. I don't know, say bizo no or chance or the babe surprise audience and so, but no so na ebia na response na nkwa esenia all expecting yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's for yentie we said na no and komotwetwe a woni Paul Adomache wo good evening Ghana yentie na memra album ya ye kan ho asemi or den semi to dwafa ho.
That's about the album. Since you say you cannot sing and we should wait for it, when is it being launched?
Well,
God is, let me write it.
Gift of God.
The Gift of God.
Yeah, so Gift of God. I'm dropping it on the 17th. You know, basically, you know, I was
17th of October.
Yeah, October. That's my birthday.
Oh, great! Are you doing it at is there an event?
No, I'm not. I'm not doing any event on that day because I was supposed to meet some people that a distribution label, yeah, to distribute my album for me. But because I had my dates like so close, so I'm gonna release like a couple of songs on the 17th, which is from my album. Yeah, or maybe because they are deciding.
So are you just releasing it on social media so we pick it up, or you're going to be somewhere to sing it?
Yeah, so it's going to be on a gradual process, you know, because I'm working on some label works here. You know,
so radio stations are going to play it?
Yeah, radio stations are it's going to be live. Like, so maybe one song is going to come out first, you know, for everybody to start, you know, listening to it. Then the next.
But song, you can't give us an a cappella at all.
No.
Is it a dance hall?
So it's a whole album that is packaged, you know, towards, you know, our current, you know, living, you know, in terms of Afrobeat, dance or anything that goes
commercially. Living like economic difficulties, something like that? Is there Russia-Ukraine war in it?
No. Come on, I'm not into that.
COVID-19 matters in it?
No. Maybe that one, maybe some artists that can also take that part. So
is it danceable?
Sweet, beautiful melodies, like danceable. Really? Yes, for the girls.
For the girls?
Yeah.
So I cannot dance?
FM. Right, so no ni Paul Adomache edi sankomowe. But utia till utie and some no kana. Na chese or say a couple of songs no cast be release. So not the album.
No, initially or catch us be releasing the album. Until recently or say on ya distributor no and our cast and be releasing a couple of songs. Into starting with cash outs and other, but initially
no, but where are the latest interview?
Oh, this is the
because
latest.
I'm sure said Nyauka about album.
Oh yeah, it
probably
was,
might be there.
When you say why I know a solid plan to release the album.
I know.
Like longest.
No, but I know. But I'm saying say this is the latest interview.
Yes.
And now Ochechi mu say Obe release a couple of songs from the album. So I'm saying that now we have to correct it and say. And yet the entire album.
Yes.
But just now a couple of songs.
Yeah, just a couple of songs.
So he's not wrong if maybe a cash out pen and not the entire album.
Yeah, so in fact also can say he will drop one first and then not the other ones now. But I think the first one will be dropping and then cash out now album. And hopefully I don't know what's next though. I don't know what's next. I mean I was thinking because originally the title, the song, one of the songs on the project with Naira Marley now we know about that now. I was hoping he will drop that one first because already there's a built up anticipation for that particular song. Okay, so no so or really say in some by say work on Nigeria for why who be what about Nigeria and collaborate, but say he has a plan clearly and he's doing what he's doing. And what do you say first? When am I disappointed though? And I mean, fans they don't care.
No, I'm not disappointed. Why should I be?
The fans they are you?
We're just analyzing issues. I'm not disappointed. Why should I be?
They don't care. They don't mind. I feel like ABI critics now we see it as only a diagram, their fans they are okay. I don't know.
No, but
why.
I'm saying to be fair to him, no. if we have to go by this particular interview on Paul Adumochi, then or explaining it clearly enough, say I'll release a couple of songs from the album. But
now my question is,
this
project's now what dropping. Moving forward, is it going to be dropping projects of, songs of the project? And I said, like the way he does.
You say a gradual
but you
thing.
see, Chatawale Chatawale can drop cash out, and in the next 3 days, I'll drop 8 songs.
Yeah, but it's still gradual. It is still gradual.
No, and it won't be from the album. It will be different projects.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Okay, so me, my Chris, I've been, but my main fan to just say Kojokin at Nancy and Ole Salvador from 3 Music, right? Media Network. Okay, Ole so about can say we anybody didn't come be. I'm sure this particular one will pick a thought from him as well. But me, Chris.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Paul interview no. Now at least input BBI into proper perspective.
Sure.
And I mean, share that Nisa update away. Well, but still, I know the whole album release process near confusing. So confusing.
I didn't confusing.
Yansha said, till eka about on Naira Marley, there was a plan. There was an initial plan to release songs. First Kramponanka a list in na ebeba. And on that very day, no, a 1 track penny or release or
album
so.
Right.
Here we are now coming out with a different track. Now Ubiam Poncha anymore. So what happened to
which different track? You mean the cash out nana?
So what happened to Naira?
I didn't tell say a different track will be anymore. Unim album no nyuma also. Unim album unim nyuma also.
So
me patron album no the cash out but why do you say different track?
But then fine Shatta can be different. He can just do it.
No, but why are you saying say different?
But then the culture is before the album will come out, there will be a track list. The track list will give you a fair idea of what to expect. Well, track list in Inamba Bako by Bakom Brand do releases in so I pick fee. Baby, I end him home. So what happened to the initial?
I don't understand this one. What do you mean, baby? I end him home. Me, and I'm what you say. I don't understand. What do you mean?
What you say?
What you say?
No, me. My background say that is the culture. There will be a track list, and out of the track list, you can tell. Oh, nyumu be was nyumu be. Yanya track list, that is fine. It is a nyumbim po babe ba out. That 1 track na part of the track list, Traditionally, that is what is expected to come out.
Brim. I mean, near Chris, what is this? I don't understand. So artists, anyone also fine made the album about out.
Yeah.
We are talking about track list. So the track list, biba, wakofa nyumbi a few baby yenim. I don't understand. Maybe I would just say, dear partners. I mean, why?
A job best for some chini said a munya dent to say, Minion, me sister, into Yamu Fan Chemina,
and the
but I think, say, dear crazy cano, it's what it is. It's what we know that there is a standard way of rolling out a project.
Okay.
Some people would like to do a documentary. Some would like to, have an interview. Some would like to, like he said, roll out a track list. Unfortunately for Shatta, no one yanisa. And I think in the same interview, Shatta actually did say, ono hawa opeso marketing in the album.
Yeah.
And I think when the artist himself speaks that way, I think we need to leave him be, because Shatta is an enigma. He's also a conundrum. And the more we try to understand him, the more we stress ourselves. So me personally, if you ask me, I am just looking at Shatta as a case study. Okay, you told us about an album 3 years ago. There's been several postponements. There's been several hooks to it. You've tried every single thing just to raise the right attention for the album. And yamba. Oko America and our announcers on the 17th. You even said, say America for you very lucky because you are announcing to them for the first time when you are releasing the album. Sebi, Yaman pressure. On one the catcher is on his birthday, he released the album. Now, as Chris said, for those of us who sit on the other side, write about it or talk about it, we are excited to see what Shatta will do this time, because say Yebekaya Rain album, I dare say, is arguably one of the best album rollouts we had in this country. the activation of that album was everywhere in terms of merchandises and whatnot. People wanted to just buy a merchandise just to prove, say, indeed, they were supporting the Rain album. And many will say because maybe Xylophone was...
That is the album Ashatawale Yiya Onyi album Biamba.
Exactly,
right?
Yes. Many will say because Xylophone was backing him, and he had the proper prerequisites to do that. But now Shatta himself also said, say, only distributor, only label. So the question is, why or how is an artist as big as Shatta Wale not having a distributor or a label just about 3 or 4 days to his album release? Because I think the interview was done on Poladum Motri's show, which was about, I think, on Wednesday or so. So why is an artist as big? This is one of our Ghanaian artists who has had a record with one of the biggest artists in the world, which is Beyonce. So why is he falling short in that area? How come, say, after 3 years, I think these are the questions we need to ask. How come after 3 years...
And just you had said, you could just at least maybe take out from the voice. He sounded a bit frustrating with the fact that or struggle to get a distributor. Yeah.
But you see, Uncle, I think at the end of the day, if there is a challenge, this is not the first time an artist are releasing an album or on a particular data, if there's a challenge, I think it's only fair to say, due to certain reasons or so and so, nobody would come after you, say, because wow album, una plan, una strategy. But if we are expecting an album, now after the show, so the question I'm asking myself is, say, Sabio, say, Poladum Ocha and Throw and Ba show Nuswa. I mean, the information is we are looking forward to an album.
Yeah.
So if Poladum Ocha didn't invite you on the show for you to even speak on it, we were all going to sit here with an album.
But Senya Osikano, what if maybe it was just also publicity plan for Ononso to explain some of these things for that? Because say himself as a media person, the artist could also approach you and say, look, I think that I have this thing to say. And Timami, that platform for me to say.
That's fair. That's most likely to happen.
Yeah.
But like Tilly also said, I mean, we've seen Shatta say something and do other things. And it makes it difficult to work with him, quote unquote, because it's like you have given us this. I think for some reason when he announced that the album was going to be released on 17th, all the PR was positive. People were seriously expecting, finally, because at some point in time when we asked Shatta album,
but to be also fair with you, sir. Honestly, Senkama Paul interview, even though I've listened.
I watched the interview live as well. And
I've listened to it, but Uni said, pay attention to the fact that he has said I'll release a couple of songs. Because all this while conversation had been said, me album.
But Oka said you release a couple of songs now.
Yeah.
He just released one song. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, is it when we say a couple of songs, because Chairman Chris is here, he will explain to us what an EP and all those things, right? If it's an EP, let us know, okay, it's an EP. If it's an album, let us know it's an album. But if you raise our appetite, because we haven't had, a work of art from Shatta in a very long time. Many have bemoaned the fact that he's not released any hit song in the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah. Do you get? No. I'm coming.
God is a hit song.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm putting my point.
I'll say propaganda. I'll say propaganda from some
media.
The
conversations. Yeah. The conversation on the trends on Soul, on God came in. Right. Even on God, it was a gentle rise. It didn't like Cash Out is doing right now.
Yeah.
Many people have varied responses to Cash Out, but I can clearly see there's a kind of song that will slowly grow on you if you listen to it often. So Shatta, if you say that you are doing this, we are expecting to do this because we report it the way you say it.
All right.
But if you do otherwise, then you make everybody's work difficult in the ecosystem.
Me da say that olele there mamema kojokin sombrem kakra which sofa Shatta Wale ni birthday obeyi album epie now from the conversation on Poladum Ocha halfway obviously waso every year but I'm saying we've not paid attention to it. So okay, well, I'm not going to release an album. I'm going to release a couple of songs from the album. Kojo, meet you.
Yeah, I would say Sanya Ghana for any Shatta Tanano. Ye pay a nano no more. Shatta to see engineer a woman print ya shit. So follow Ninkomodi on this album or communicate pa sense I be about no about Facebook no have casa. Shatta movement my pamucha be paid munya with tremami me yewe enti everyone say man who say okay say he will drop couple of songs.
Are you saying, sir, we've missed it?
Or say
We didn't pay attention. That's what you are saying.
Because ABR, the way I no say when you Saturday, Saturday or castle bay, we are no assessor, no aquacoy, but some communication in the airby or the can work.
But I mean, could you? I'm sure, sir, only Union more I'm saying, and I'm sure, sir, so far conversation is in the corner, sir. The last major conversation, Bibia Shatakai about this album is when he went to US. And he said it. He said it clearly.
Yes.
Or say album, no be bad. He didn't say a couple of songs.
Course, yes.
Yeah.
That one there is captain say or 17th album because album you're waiting for 3 years. And one said 3 years crowd still we are still waiting. Why are dear passer what me a whole day for 3 good years? You go so train album no, which means that the activations ne how or steer conversations no is on point. Yes, 17th no. I think that time no the way are not environment in it because okay said the first time almost something like a festival. It's in the man.
But I'm sure I said the conversation so much could you and about Upeso take it 10 years cry. People let us know 10 years.
Exactly.
But Okacha man phone said me the album about out. Now otherwise, then I say you are misleading the people.
So the problem people will have, they say we are dealing with a market. Yeah, audience, and then I'll be out on it is a okache send ebeba now ma nice old dada ebia ebedum na the beba na so you're ready for it. But uchiemu ya ni nyina no o ma hint. Say changes be here ba homu o ma hint so say or cash 17th of a ban over drop pay cash out say eno never 17th no if you follow her or drop pay cash out say cash out or my update one year update say cash out never yes so if say who follow bet me say no enye album ni na the eba na single no na the eba and me shatter what you can say I am different from your artist then you be your na no say I no be your artist I'm different from your artist. Nia upese what is here now? Who ne da no norm no say bia say na moka say release album it goes through a certain process. Shatter say no onya ne sa and me ne ya adwin wo ne o ye hu kire say there are certain artists who release album but say be a day no na enum ni na ya drop it enum ni bi yira
Kojo pem say conversation no oh ade ne say obi ansma obi ye na ade I'm saying say can't send you sit here a chairman for no but o can now ye bia and all the who say hard
oh say na make say bia would deceive microphone because omo train ye man say me na me ton ade no na me say drada me de beba edwa so and a drada no do no man fa de na de amber yes omo buy some ba beto ade no omo are disappointed but na me can say drada na me ntimi mfemba no me ye notice bi say if I draw that meet me for the end, but I'm out for anti. Because go to Shutters.
Colleagues no almost show. They are laughing. I don't know. Maybe you should ask them why they laughing. I didn't know almost straight.
I am one. Everyone Till the other answer. Till if it's about 5. When is also one number 10.
Just today, Sean.
Also about 9.
Oh, bre.
Now about 9.
Roger today, I'm going
to
go.
Roger
today.
About 9 now.
Oh, the Roger
now
today.
About 9. They are laughing about 5.
Boss, I won't believe you.
No, me believe it because Oko Shatter Facebook. Communication
unim say asambia oka sentie artist wo ha obey interview obey documentaries obey chata ni nyina because oye GOG diaries documentary oye series e won YouTube telling us say this is the project coming out and obey album list no release and start free na Mali there no I think so the other one big and then also yes exactly. There was but you see there hasn't been a fully total plan with our list album and you come on person be have it. That is the only truth.
To even add to what you are saying.
Okay. No, and as Satawale also will drop a friend is a track list. So there is another built up anticipation for it. I feel or drop it. It's me can say okay. If every week be every Friday or be drop out track list now say enyom no 28 na was it means that in the next 28 weeks we are expecting the album. yeah, who baby and it's a quiet and a fast no a bit to say way. Say that be he didn't tell us we releasing all. We have the list and time. Don't play with us.
I see. Oh, say who assumption.
Wait, wasn't that?
No.
Hold on. Mommy. And I can't say. It's in the fast now. According to fast, no, Satawale never said that he was dropping all the trackless. So it was our assumption. I was like, okay, sure, my bad. Say me assume me. And one year who said and our interview, some flexible crowd in our interview about GOG. Why you all the things together, but it is not showing the work. But at the end of the day, no, what are we talking about? GOG. So if that is the plan, it is working.
Chris, now first, can be.
No, me, Manenko.
Okay. Olele, you are done, right?
I think I'm okay.
Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, Tini Shatawale ni album or the two just will be Gift of God. Now, okay, say enra na woda and no so be album ye. Well, now from the interview boy Nipola don't obviously or say we release a couple of songs. So we bring a couple of songs that just say enya bako be mienu. Na so far bako no DP no cash out. Listen.
This dial is hot. Stay tuned. The best radio. News.
I'm sure if you want to listen to some more of that particular one, you go online and check it out. That cash out if he Shatawale Honum saying. Yanko Enimiantwa Yankomono so in penny form so Hanum saying one more bois. Now the next issue share a weekend year train we event we course so in Hanum saying. I don't know whether to call it central region. But it's part of Incline. It's part of Incline. Now, Jumedie, almost I say 2012. Omaya, Kwako say Afibia, Ebaso, one of the biggest beach festival and event across so Ghana Hanum saying Tidal Reef and Omo Freno. Now weekend the CNMD can kind of a corso a Kokrobiti. Now, issues back you know PF Muba. Issues borders on security. Bambon Honsem. And there's also another issue that has to do with a sound. Uko eventa. Concerta. Ubete tin. So speakers so these are the two key issues I perceive. Now question be am busao itifa mutie ani yenuan mabekwa mom. So Ghana Hanum say yeah event wo hu. Na se uko event na. Bambono eye wan pa na ye na sede. Ena wo se bambono ye betumi achichem. Se wakọ event na wakọ do event no ase. Na ufi eye yapon event no na wo free eye event no ase. In fact baby eye event no ankasa wo. Baby eye event no wo free ho na bia wo kofie. Intimi fan say bia Ghana Hanum say obi ya event or conference center. Conference center area mu honum say fa Crash Sport Stadium de kwa de ba wenima be bia Ridge Runabout honum say no. Sa bambo ni nyina no say oni a wo ye event no sa bia honum nyina no say o make sure say wa wo ko event no we be free sa at least area kakra bi na baby a wo ye event no na sede ana hwan asede obeka ya na nsen ya mu event bi course so ye Ghana Hanum say in fact the course was Shaiman Sakasaka Park event ye nuanyum tuni Stone Boy assignment to the world no yes I event no ye event no police for the statement by so much nipa be 42 ni echi. Some of the stories that came, and I'm sure more mutie entertainment review mutie ye din komoni bi. Amanfo pre bi ye omo ye sie twa omo sire mu amanfo ye gi amanfo phones, amanfo japade bags ni ekeka ka ho. Ni nyina si o Stone Boy sa assignment to the world concert na se. Enti enu ye busa bambo no. Amako event, yes, event no amanfo agi omani ebi habon say bi event na se no. Owa na ebi ye hwi amanfo phone ana bibisa. Ena event no ebi also abepon ukofie ti se na esi wo Stone Boy assignment to the world concert. Ukofie na ebi a unam kwanso na ebi na Sanya maniama no ɛyɛ hwan asɛdeɛ bambɔ no ɛyɛ hwan dia ɛsɛ sɛ onipa ko no ayɛ event waton ticket wo deɛ waba sɛ ɛnwom na wobɛtie yɛ wobɛsaayɛ wasɛ awie wokɔ fie nti ɔno wawie wopie fi ɛyɛ event hɔ ne ɛbɛsi no ɛno nyɛ no asɛm anaɛka the responsibility no ho nansen ya university am sɛ Cape Coast ɔnum sɛ nyuntuni baako nso kɔdi adwuma ɛna ohuri stage so ogyina stage so na odi ne dwuma na efi microphone ma mic 1 2 1 2 fring mic 1 2 1 2 fring kidi asɛm na mekan enti ɛbaa ne saa no kidi gyina no ɔde ne sa bɔ mic ne no pak mic no ba enti ɛno saa no na so sense free stage no ɔkɔ ɔsɛ ɔtwɛn bɛɛ dɔnhwere bɛɛ miɛnsa wɔde kyɛw pa kora de aba ɔsɛ ɔpa kyɛw ne mfiri ɛnyɛ ne fom so nti ɛno ɛba ne saa artist no because me sure sɛ wode wonim sɛ bi akidi nti ahwɛ kora wobɛdi kidi atɛma na wode so bɔ no bɛbɔ kidi ti sɛ bi a mo a munim mu yie pa no bɛka sɛ da bi wɛmfi kidi ɛyɛ event organizer no so sa tidal rave here course yi amanfo stories bebree na ba ai fa ho omo aye robo omo ye gi omo ho niama bebree enima bebree ni siye nyumtuni baako wonu kra de wo stage no Black Sheriff onya sound problem eni ne ka ho na ye didi nkomo aye ba ye sa discussion some of the artists complaining almost say the sound was very bad. Na ewie yenua baako akan ho hanum say Olele Salvador ekobi watron sembebre afa ayesa particular tidal review ho supposed to be on a social media account Olele Salvador. I'm sure if you go to Facebook and maybe Twitter you can just read some more for yourself, but mo pebro for no betimi akọ kenkan bi. I'm sure you can just follow him there. But if you hanum say so ye ba be mo a painty picture no nsem ni bia watwro wode ato honum say ni ono so koye ni ofam ni ohu ye e wo tidal rave ewie yenin ba be din komo and my main fan to just say we did some checks here as production so ye bo modia ebo pni wo mo ye sa tidal rave company a ehye I say and I see now so you're from Echo House. So only I no chese ne ho mfa no obepe obia man na nka ne nakasa ye ka say yensan kan obia from Echo House. One more we tidal review. And we also try to do some checks. Say nka BBC si send your man for akasa fa ho omo aye robo omo e fat team. The problems people went through, people have shared their experience on social media. And tina ya hwese bia bepim se sabre no e bia wo mo de chop bia ba beto abontia na bia mo de nchechim bia ba ya kom website ye hu hwe social media and so ye hu bibia om de ato. So if you have something or we've seen something maybe Echo House it can be bia chain wo mo ye tidal review ubetimi ama ensaka, but for now wo mo mfa bibia wo me kan bibia mfa ho amanfo. So amemra olele
eja
cheating here, but we watch on bro for the dead ego say anti bomodiana try so could you be sending a mama tea for tea we experience share with us.
Okay, to me start free timer ye free Accra make up ye free as me and a few others, okay, you know, from our team. Ye free Accra bear 3:15 thereabouts. Now you drew your call pa a Bawe side on our audio call formerly baby a global cinemas one on our say traffic no ache traffic especially traffic na koko bitino. Okay. Nti a hona mi hu MTTD police officer no directed traffic, especially for those who are more call that side of the event. And your book Kev no your koinim kakra the traffic was fluid, it was moving. But after you drew baby no, I remember very well say me check me GPS app, which was the Google Maps no. Okay. the time I drew Bojo Beach. Now, from Bojo Beach to Luxury Beach Resort, where the event was held, was about 800 meters.
Okay.
But the more we went on the traffic, the higher the time was going. So if everyone say 700 to 800 meters, if you take say 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whilst we were still in the traffic, that time near the air.
Right.
So that means on the map you could see say I saw red, gone. That means you're going to be in there for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I drew, but we spent about 2 hours in traffic. So I left Accra 3, but I got there around 5:30, if I'm not mistaken. Now you drew in fact, now car parks ni na yama.
Before I do car park, I understand say there was this bridge Faso.
No, the bridge was inside the event.
Inside
Luxury Beach Resort.
Okay.
It was what I'm going to share is from the outside into the event.
Okay, so it's that bridge,
That bridge was inside.
Actually,
the resort.
inside.
It was inside. It wasn't outside.
Oh, I thought Sabia or
at all.
Okay. All right, go on.
It's here drew on na car parks in Nayama. So what happened? They say the locals no more they tried to create spaces and rooms for people to park their cars.
Okay.
But it would come at a cost. Because standard race car parks no na on Mashishato ni Nayama. And you'd also see double parking on the road. Now, the nature of the road is such that it's narrow, so it's a 2-lane road. Right? So the traffic situation didn't even help those who were parking. And if you're fortunate to park your car by the roadside now, you contribute to the traffic.
Okay.
Fast forward, we were able to park our cars and we got to the main gate.
So the parking area now described. Or say locals. Just say
yes, they were helping with the
you also mentioned about some empty DDs.
Yes, that was like way back, like
back.
And
be more parking cars in there.
No, I personally, and I say this because I may share my story. Personally, I didn't see an empty DD helping.
When police need But what about private security? Say that you could say okay, well, event organizers no more contract.
So much plain clothes that's different. But I didn't see a uniform private security or boa with the direction of the cars or parking of the cars.
Patrons now you have to struggle
exactly
with the help of the locals.
Exactly.
Okay.
And to be very honest, even where people park their cars, it was questionable because you are coming for an event like this, so you are thinking about, hey, maybe I'm parking the car. And I say,
safe and
I mean, the parking situation was so bad. Say, even people with compound houses or compound homes had to rent out their spaces to park individual cars, or better yet, park your car afar off and then walk.
Okay.
So you see patrons walking from a further end towards the event.
Okay.
So fast forward, we get to the main gates.
So the car park, I understand, say, charge from the minimum will be charge you 50 Ghana cedis.
Well, the minimum was 20
Ghana cedis.
But depending on your car, so car your Benz, Range Rover, BMW, almost show car, almost show me and they are Bob.
It's to be 500 Ghana cedis.
Oh, the 500 Ghana man.
Okay.
The highest I heard was 100 cedis.
Wow.
Then Ukraine was a Mercedes Benz. That's what I heard. But you show car as a car you do matters. I do more 10 CDs via now. No disrespect to my Deomatis people, but I'm just trying to paint a picture.
Right.
It's you do gate nano. There was a mammoth crowd, not a dome or gate nano. Now this gate is not a security check gate. It's just the main gate that gives you access to the Luxury Beach Resort.
At saying, is it maybe you see some fence?
Well, you see 3 pillars, 2 pillars holding on to the main gate.
Okay.
There was another gate on the same axis, but it wasn't opened for whatever reason. It wasn't open. It was just one gate that allowed you to enter or come out.
Okay.
Either as a person or as a car. There was a main gate that was manned by 2 men.
Okay.
Now, one of the men were in a police uniform, but I couldn't identify if indeed he was a policeman or not. But Chanel uniform, security uniform.
I want to say police for uniform.
It's a police for uniform.
Right.
So, don't my bunting now. It's a cocktail of a number of people. Ebi or China down for Amanaba. Normal go inside and I say be a big tiny ticket.
I said why
there's like so much activity going on.
Okay.
It's Obia or Dintia or John wedding or train. So the next thing I tell you,
but the honor check ticket to say
no. That's the main. I say we still down now that area. So
Right.
anybody with or without a ticket, you could go in.
Okay.
Right. Now at that same point, you could also look to buy a ticket because there was a big ticket, not like an art
Banner,
banner. Not barcode also.
Okay.
So you could scan it and then to take you to the link which was powered by Ego Tickets to buy a ticket, or you could use the short code.
Okay.
So people were doing that as well as part of
Ticket in Bonnie saying.
100 CDs.
Okay.
And I'm sure there were other, but they didn't know one 100 CDs.
Okay.
Right. So, instead of baby, say, those of you who are looking to enter or get tickets, queue up, right? And those of you who have tickets, come on this other side, in a room. Now that is where the near stampedic event happened, because now people want to rush into the event. As I'm making up, Bob is a 6:30 more. It's not if you are not then night was drawing 9, right? So now we had to struggle our way into the main gates. So it's whoever that's fit enough to go through, you go through.
Push and pull.
Yes, I mean, Obao, Bemao, Yena, we are Hunger Games and because we had to go through the gates, and for whatever reason, the guards behind the gates were trying to control the situation. Now, obviously, they are overpowered by the crowd, so they were trying to press the gates against some of us. So you are most likely going to injure yourself or get a cut because they were trying to just manage the situation. So when you make it through the gate, then you now go to the security check where say I'll take it, compliment you, say VIP, whatever. There are now private security standing there, supported by the National Fire Service, of course, Ghana Police and, as well, so that everything. So they were working hand in hand with the private security.
Okay.
So you're checking your tickets in your room. Now that is where we saw the bridge, because you had to cross over. I don't want to call it an estuary, but it was like, I mean, it was basically an estuary. Yeah. So you had to cross over and get to the beach side.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, when you get to the beach side where the main thing is happening, everybody's having fun. So like, for a second, I'm like,
So you go through to go
and have fun.
Okay.
It's like basically going through hell to make it to heaven. You get me? So when you get into the event grounds, like, because there were several activities going on at the same time. The main stage was also being manned by Minya Kojo Mano, ni DJ Viroski, and now me after everything about bears, there's 7 something. Now, this is where I have a problem, because the flyer stated say it was going to start from 12 and end at 10.
Area 12.
Yes.
Okay.
And end at 10. People had been there since 3 p.m.
Right.
But because of the other activities in the war, they were already engaged, so they were okay. But me, I am thinking, say, me fi Accra. I've gone through all the stress. I have arrived at 7 p.m. Fast forward, by 8:20, 8:30, a Hairline Act hadn't appeared. And me, I have my problem with that thing already, because so event as a Ghana, event as for some strange reasons, artists don't show up, or the Hairline Act don't show up on time. But I wanted to give it a chance, because Starter Rave started from 2012. So I wanted to have me to have come to see some and experience some experience, right?
Yeah.
So I was there for an hour and almost 2 hours. So the me and say because share baby no more game FIFA and the Jamie Jimmy Nikakra to buy time. During that period, you had the opening acts for the nights coming through. Now that is where I recognized the technical challenges, because some of the opening acts, when they came on stage, for some reason the sound wasn't working.
Okay.
I mean, the DJ sets to help them with their sound wasn't working. So most of them had to do a cappella performances. Now imagine how stressed you are. You are tired and you have an opening act shouting at you, literally, like all over the place. And I'm like, bro, no, let's not do this. Like, you can clearly see we have a situation. So it'll be on to the boss. For other opening acts, they were fortunate to have the DJ set to work, so they were able to perform with their MP3s and whatnot. Now that's out of the way. Kojo Mano will come back, the hype man will come back again to try and hype the crowd and everything, because we are preparing to. So this around 8:40. It's me catch my down from this by 9. if a headline ad doesn't come,
So
they
headline ad, I understand that artists in the number perform.
Sarkodie,
R2Bs,
Black
Jackie,
Sheriff,
Black Sheriff, Daco Vibes.
Yes, Joey B.
Joey
Joey made
B.
a surprise appearance.
Okay.
As well.
Okay. So by 9,
By 9, there was Zabi.
artists when you know
Yeah,
performing.
so it was just a hype man trying to. So the hype men were actually rotating, and the DJs as well. And the playlist obviously will be recycled because we bought Bernard, we bought Ashake, we bought Black Sheriff, we bought Shatawale, or we are. The next DJ will come and play the same thing. And as usual, all I do is win with from Kakra.
Yeah.
Send it back, we reset and everything. And all this while, the headline acts weren't ready for whatever reason. We were not too sure. So I told my colleague, say, if where we are coming from, if we don't leave now, by the time we get home, after this is over, that idea. So 9 o'clock, I decided to take off or just leave.
I see.
Now, whilst I was leaving, I was still touching base with the team there to be sure who and what time did they come on stage. At 10 p.m., they hadn't come on stage.
So before you get to that one,
Yes, sir.
Leaving at 9.
Yeah.
Next is saying.
Leaving at 9.
Is it as difficult as Urim? No.
Not necessarily, because at the time in that situation, I make car earlier, now I back down, cry. I mean, you can now go through the main gate freely and come in freely because at that time now, comfortably I rim.
Okay.
But there's an interesting thing about my exit from the venue. When we moved our car, which was also a difficult thing to do because the back on James is kind of parking my car, no.
Okay.
On master shift. So now another person is charging me to help move my car from where it is because on as you say in the shift now, but I don't know so. So if I pay 20 CDs for the guy to park my car, now moving the car I need to pay either 20 or 30 to show my car also for 20 bra. And I didn't want to get into because I was already fatigued. So I was like, you know what, you take it. Because where they actually parked us, the exit and the entry points, be in the car, I park, I block it.
Wow.
Car, no. So about 14, 15 cars in that stretch, whoever needs to come out, they need to go bring a big board to put on the gutter, just so that it could serve as a bridge for you to move. So if you don't pay them, that means your car is stuck there, and they're not going to even look for the gentleman who parked his car at the entry point because one genie number, one genie ding, and the guy in the catch me say, boy, and back in the catch and say, oh, shy idea, but see, and I'm say, brah. Obi buy event also or shade but see man park car no nti see guy when also and I'm say the bending and also our bridge say me twa nko dia so the 20 cedis I am paying for the bridge and the movement of my car a cost I did not budget for. Okay, cool. Now we set off. As we set off, like I said, the road is a 2-lane road. You are either coming or you are going. That was when the likes of Sarkodie were coming. They were coming with a convoy. Now what that means is they have to eat into our road. So me na missing my brand milk coffee I fed the magic kwana fa. So that means I have to now sit in traffic again for another 2 hours.
And the only man can
You understand?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I didn't buy some magic menu can maintain anything. I'm 120 Ghana already. That's cool. That's okay. And that was where I was hoping to say the MTTD or the police will help with the traffic situation because Cesar called the 5-car convoy a bar. It's the nature of the car. It is somebody else who is just coming as a patron could join the convoy because it be a car near Range Rover and the car a Honda Civic. Until you don't even know say where does the Cesar convoy end.
Yeah.
We have to now meander our way through. If you're not lucky, you might fall into a gutter, and that is not the cost of anybody because when I do home buy, you are deciding to leave. So we stayed in there for a very long time, close to 2 hours again. Yeah, Drew baby, no say police patrol, and that was even when the traffic had eased up. They were at a particular point that was like closer to the main road for us to exit. Now at the time we were leaving, I was checking the trends on social media and I was touching base with some of the people at the event, and that was when I got to know that after 11, that was when the first headline act. After 11, not even 11, no, after 11, because as at 11 p.m. the headline act hadn't come. So the first headline act, which was in this case Daco Vibes, came after 11. Maybe if you're now about 2.
Wow.
Yes. So when I was in the traffic, I tweeted, "Tidal Rave, never again," because I was so overwhelmed. Because I'm looking at myself not just as a journalist, but as a patron. I have come all the way from Accra. I have gone through the stress. I am fatigued. I have come into the event grounds. It's just because if I really wanted to listen to what the DJs were doing, I could just go on my Apple Music and play the music. I didn't come there to. I mean, it's good. It's all great and nice. But I came there. I wanted to actually experience Tidal Reef for the first time in terms of performance because people talked about it a lot. But the irony about this thing is, those who made it to the end, they enjoyed themselves. So it's like it's a bittersweet feeling. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should have waited a bit too. But the truth is,
but just reading your post, no, there's a part that can be about say going through the event grounds near there, no.
Yes.
Say OMTO packets now. Is it
So-
because what a man for a
Yeah, I mean, say just patcho say wako events na trotro crowd say trotro scarce na a trotro be bar. Now will be a rush in. You have to be very, very aware of yourself because you may go in heavy and sit down light because at the end of the day, your gadgets or your personal goods are gone. In this case, it's the same thing with the entry into or through the gates. I had to empty my pockets, my wallet, my phones, my back for work and personal phone, and I'm the bar, my bosso, and I use my elbows as a shield, and that was where home smells I started here because so be was saying you have to now use your head, it's a motor hit then you have to move back and go back again, and it was a lot of screams and hey. So by the time you even enter, you have been dressed to spit. You get me? So before you even go and enjoy yourself, Nankasano, then your morale is already on a negative. And I don't think people, our patrons, deserve to go through any of these things. That is why I wrote what I wrote, and I also said, artists should respect the patrons. It's a two-way thing. It's business. This is not about feeding your ego.
I didn't know they subornate the boy artists
okay.
Because unless maybe why certain investigation,
Right.
then from the event organizers side, we say almost so they did everything right, but it was just the artist, because sometimes it could also be the event.
I think it's because we've even had conversations about these things before, where the event organizer could even have everything right, but there is this notion, say, artists try to come on stage by gauging the audience. Me person bantem. And I don't want to. Anytime I have this conversation, I don't want to go to what just happened at Global Citizen, because you see, what happened at Global Citizen taught us that it is possible for an artist to come early, perform, make impact, and leave. Stonebwoy was the opening act for Global Citizen, and Jackie. All respect to Jackie in her field, but with the Stonebwoy tour, not the Jackie tour. Stonebwoy is the older and bigger artist in comparison to Jackie.
And seriously speaking, now can say event video Ghana and cast Stonebwoy and perform first.
You get it. And Jackie might probably be the one to start the show, because out of all the A-list artists, but when we went to Global Citizen, even Jackie performed after Stormzy. Jackie performed after Thames. And I get it. Yes, Global Citizen is different because investment and everything, but it gives us a case study to look at. That if I come to a concert, I have paid to come to the concert. To come and see you. The least you can do is to come on time, give me a good show, and go back. That's always been my argument. Whether or not you were a big artist or a small artist, I came to see you.
Olele Salvador, NRT said, or this report, or event TB, Tidal Reef, and there've been so many. Tweets, social media, Facebook, Nini Kaho, a man for I share so many of their experiences. Back or say them for rename Tidal Reef to Kwashe Olympics, so everyone knows what they are signing up for. Kwashe Olympics, I don't know what that means anyway. So two Kwashe boys approached me because I left Tidal Reef early. As they see, say, I peace. No, one guy said he be blood. Then they left. But I was say Tidal Reef. This was my first and will be the last. Well, I don't know why you guys are. So many of you, Mushem, were experienced on social media. Okay.
I wanted to quickly say that sometimes, in as much as some of these things have happened, some of them too are also exaggerated.
Okay.
You know, so we will have to draw the lines where indeed, because there was a lady who actually said that, you know, someone was shot. And as it stands now, we are trying to get word from the Kokrobite police station or, you know, even the MCE to either confirm or deny that indeed someone was shot. Because as you get it, because it's not just any event. Echo House, by the grace of God, have been doing this event since 2012. They are not small.
And I understand that this is the first time they call Kokrobite Honum say.
No, they have actually been doing a Kokrobite, but the first time they changed the location of.
They've been doing it at Kokrobite.
Yes,
because someone was also saying
it was a different resort.
I'm saying it's a Laboma said yeah.
There be they
okay.
This luxury beach. This is the first time they're doing a luxury beach.
Okay,
but
they've been doing it at Kokrobite.
Yes.
But which particular? Is it Bojo?
No, I think it was I have to check the name. It starts on M.
Okay.
Mustin. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mustin Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is it also the case? This is the first time Bem said I've seen so much maybe fine in terms of negativity on the tidal reef.
Right.
Could it also be because it'd be a luxury beach? What do you think, sir? Maybe is really the issue.
So today we spoke to a security expert, and said for such things, no, you need to engage some of these security experts, the police, whatsoever, so they can do a proper recce. Because every event ground,
nobody cares about. We don't care about this.
You get it, you know. And I think that's what the conversation is going to go to, because every venue will have its own strengths and weaknesses. So they suggest to you, say, based on your architecture, based on your floor plan, these are the areas you need to protect, or these are the areas you need to do that and do that and do that and do that and do that. We are not privy, because Echo House is not talking. They haven't released a statement whatsoever to address the matter. So I can't sit here and say, oh, ABR, they engaged Luxury Beach and Luxury Beach said this. So I can't say that. But I'm saying that moving forward, these are things we need to consider, because it's become a very serious conversation. People who had the opportunity to go to Global Citizen Festival have seen that it is possible to be done in Accra. It is possible to be done in Ghana. So now people are now very much conscious. They are very self-aware of the fact, say, oh, so we can get this thing done. Why is it not happening? And why is it that when I come for an event, the event organizer is only happy that I have paid money, but does not care about my safety? I was saying on my Twitter not too long ago, says that you can't have Kwashe and tidal reef in one sentence. After 10 years, it's unfortunate. You can't do that, because
but it's all because event organizers, I don't know, maybe fine to say don't care about. All they care about
just sometimes it's money. You see, I feel like.
But is that how we should? And it's because, you see, nobody is paying attention to these things until
something like these things happen.
You remember, there was this issue about medical should be Okoye or Sotum.
Yeah.
And someone got hurt.
Yeah.
There's so many. The person ended up in that.
Even I say Ashaman to the world as well.
Ashaman to the world. What happened? And it takes me back to, I don't know whether it's 2012 or one of those years. I think it's probably 2012. My events, I think that was my first experience at Stratford, London Hornum event, normal year. And I couldn't believe it. Say, you call event, no, you do Horno. On my family fee hotel, you call you do ye gate, no, you do, I'm say, I'm a close gate, I'm a main room. I was with the event organizer. I'm saying, I'm my room. Then I was asking, not me, because they went to the gate, and when they came back, they say, unfortunately, we can't go inside. I said, why? Because I thought, can you imagine, okay, so if me, Kwesi Awaji, I'm the one organizing the event, I got there, they say, you can't enter. Then, so I'm saying, what is the matter? Why is it that I'm saying the place is full? So we can't go in. I was like, wow, okay, all right, the place is full. So, and that thing cannot happen in Ghana. Eventually, how we managed to enter, and I said, went through this back door, and I was very typical of Ghanaians. Very typical. I said Ghana for when they said the place is full, we can't enter. No, we have to find a way to enter, because it's event organizer. No, any event. How come we can't enter? So for us to go, we managed to enter. But the reason I was just sharing this story is the fact that you can't. I can't. Me, event organizer. If I go to National Theatre is full. The main gate will maybe be my film.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm?
Right.
You go, Olele, you are event organizer. Say, oh, now organize the event. Conference center. They say, if Kwesi Abaje can say, Kwesi Abaje, I say, Olele, Charlie, I come here. Charlie, our friend, Mama Kwesi Abaje, the place is full, but they say, Mama rape. So nobody cares about some of these things. That crow, yetia. Na be bonnie see, and son, I'm sure maybe they will set up a committee and do this and do that and do this. But I think say you didn't come away and painful mutie is about time we also brought some attention. Not Sanya Manyama we to until say be bonnie basi, because look at, I mean, the experiences people are just going through in this side area, and nobody cares. You speak to security expert, you can do all kusiaga. Chris, Olele Akasa, mintio.
Olele story they say a powder be crying to goodness so because we say wedding kunim say so horrible so horrible now say for us to even put this conversation into a proper perspective no nkasanke ate organizers in council we say Olele kasa say ampo no ka senia ebinom nso exaggerate as ade no program no na organize here. Into say BBC about.
Sorry to cut in, but who said I said it and Olele also said it. Up to now, I've done these checks. You go to their website, no statement. Go to their social, and they use a lot. I mean, publicity on social media. So by now, and they've seen some of these tweets. By now, nobody have said anything. And Mekai, the time I Stoneboy at DAC, na mene, what was his name? I've forgotten this guy's name. We spoke to one of the team member. I told him, said, look. You are complaining, say police, and we are discussing. It's like we're putting negativity. Yeah, come about the negative aspect. But I say, as we speak, you've not put out any statement.
Yeah.
But you are here accusing someone's identity or can was.
Yeah.
You understand? The best statement now there, but it's the same thing that is happening with this tidal reef.
Yeah.
And for Biahon.
But Eden Yabeka so some Yabeka, and for now, no the Yama organizers know the benefit of the doubt. Say. It be almost still a normal person munya enough information. Normal the information is about out at least a better obiasum. Oh, na in common way no so na banon so na ye and ye can nyina na nya se bia ye ka e de egu bi company ni ma se na so bi event ni ma se.
Sure.
Oh, ye can ama event organizers, promoters. Any the entire industry needs who the expectations now all the audience want to see, or the experience all the audience want to have when it comes to some of these events.
Sure.
Because so terrible. Now we starting common now busa say why na yemfa subono embono. And Olele mpo the Olele pese or the bo artist in this. Ebia na Olele artist subono or the bo no generally, but say for this event there. Subodo do na see the bo event organizers because ana wafre dance una waso akwa J venue afrefre sa akode afrefre joy bi no munyina se omoba intini yemra mbeji yani and yanam no obi ade budget nso kra ne nam Olele ko emi show se Olele calculation dan sika ho na afere hwe bia.
So can you imagine say be 100 Ghana cedis peso my pay ticket to kape. Nti go do a new park car say me due 20 Ghana. New be two cars say me due 20 40. This extra cost of 40 Ghana. Na say
almost omujimumu.
Oh na oh so born you because so they are organizers. One thing is sometimes you'll be overwhelmed. O share say na event in a corner. But in between they could have done something about it because the program was supposed to start around 12, right?
Yes, 12 to 10.
And a delay, and to me, I sure say a delay in Akrampono. These things were happening. So in between, they could have called for reinforcement or something. But then say, a koya kwako si ni sanso de a say in cheye. Oh, but yeah, canon so no. One other thing I say, yeah, change adrian koso. Now we talk about experience of Stratford. Oh. One thing I see a change adrian bason is security are there and say a DD grow. And says and yeah dear you organize event as a DD grow cra. Into no event organizers, ewo role to play. Every location be a event and say a community be a there are opinion leaders over there. You have the assembly members and all the chiefs of the place, and even some of the street boys, because we all know there are certain street boys who actually control the street. Just a binum control on street time. I say, if different community now also a bahonoma, you need to pay homage to them and sana wetimia operate. Well, we all have to come together, but. Be crampuna, yensha senior global citizen ban and saying you didn't want to go there, but then I was still because global citizen ababa be creative standard am I and me know from where I sit standard now global citizen ababe creative am I no and yet yen set up stage near perform standard. I have engaged some of the drivers and normal loady plywoods near day and crampon nam crampon near more bloggers in Nema processes or more fair answer. Well, Intino, it has created a standard for the entire industry. We don't have to joke with that standard. We can never, as it stands now, the Yentimi event be to that standard. CCA because of finance. Yes, but then the stage is for them, all right. But then the other elements around the
stage for the event.
That be about the all cano. A bit me happen this December. But December and happen and they are casa assembly.
Okay, but as it stands now, a being cedar. Well, a being cedar. And no, the standard. As it stands now, no, and no, that's right. And no, the standard. Well, now say bibi say a TMSC. Now say from all the organizers na simple mukai and say omo engage the sector ministry any GTA for support in terms of security, and I think Honorable Marco Krikumantikra on this platform or can send almost supportive with all those things. Maybe we can also take advantage of this and then petition or write to the tourism or authority or in any of these authorities, now at least almost take charge of some of these major events because even just yesterday, na mene kwajo have a discussion on how these in the long term how it's even going to affect our tourism.
Okay.
Well, because miss olele so no nko biem. Me ankasa crowns no there are certain events
okay.
A bad thing say ubenya me honum. Intino yes, yeah.
Me that say. Tilly, Bremen, I mean to you. Kaka, because who they say area.
First of all, kwashe boy be out be a shame on you. We fan kwache shame on you because it looks like
Taliban was market deal.
Wow, where your proposes it?
I say omo point no. I mean say true. I say obi kita bucket. Hey, phone brand.
What I say, kwashe boy be out be a shame on you because you see the point is that
but when said but seriously speaking, you're a country but I deal with I think that the tourism, art and culture ministry has so many come home.
Yeah.
God is all put up for tourism.
That is where I'm coming to.
And these beaches, they be out
that is where I'm coming to. Yeah, industry no. I say you might be a who here near the diagro and I any free so because mind you, people come for tidal wave. People also say the guy came to sit down. We are gang. No, so a conversation. Charlie Water. And also now assignment to the world. It looks like the Ghanaian owned entities now and I say events now a trade on my now profits now at the end of the day so you shouldn't hear this kind of buy no. I said for some funny reason the industry is sitting down watching the people spoil it. Because really event organizer do bit man so obeya na at least why security agents or my visible kakra but for how long only baby akokro be there no barrier walk to the main space what you say visibility no obeya cry ain't me nobody bonio and if it is the ministry now they are giving them extra support because mind you the people now but over 100 so global fire your compound mutom they have bigger pockets supporting them because we call global citizen me point ya me coffee me who basa so because unama at least you see one police on be will cry confirm on you say police be around so you mistake no be but you see kokrobite to sa baby luxury enye over taxi crowd time will be any easy. And even if they can maintain peace at that side, no crowd. One more coffee at the time, no coffee, it will be a problem. And that is why the ministry they have to think ahead of these things for these people, because mind you. Organizers where your investment and no organizer will want to do an event that puts people in detriment. Yes, sir. And so what is the ministry? 10 years of tidal rave. Are you telling me that the Ministry of Tourism ain't me who say, you know what? Say will support you with the security agency. We shouldn't always sit down, man, and say and sana, because these things, tourism wise, it holds the country down.
Okay. Kojo, we mami.
At some way see the enye. I said Nancy a Dawson. Na yentimi new organizers in so frame. I said a bimo ain't take you from near ACC now. No. Venue na samu bemu. And I think say you hear horn so. On my other venues I entity. Sa 77 venue na ye fit na or 5 venue no or check the security threats available in that space. Say a higher mabai, send your layout here, send your surroundings in it here no. Say nipa ebe board pema. Mati say other events yeah na no. Same we say see na dia na metimi di atutu kwemu. Enti no me venue kwa me fa venue me di nipa ebe gu won ma o safety no. Because venue be one man, would you kogu a mass security work in ebe more. But as organizers, they don't take some of these things serious. Most of them, I say, yeah, boga, show na no. Everyone cry a free venue. Only panic or casa no so make me the hammer more. And no one, but to go further, say, any pay be a quambance of venue, a fit for sure now, me no, or more bound but to say, a quambance on a mafa, a bill of insurance, crowd, say, venue, ye insurance now, sign them away in and as a Ghana, there be a reaction. Say a bit to me at Transi, Adrian Quetch say, and you may be say a bit to me, no, until say Bessino. Yandrian was sincere, no ma, you fancy one cowboy, na. Bibia sense here, normal. We will pass that event, say okay. But meanwhile, ye near be a who he say, who he says, yeah. And today be a no not be full fresh. I think say, sir, bridge no crumb fasten a buye at a point. And now also everyone
so you see that's the thing that's the thing about
what's so free one time obi so no
you see the fact say me feel on does not mean say I wasn't interested in the situation real time while I was on my way out bridging in however bridging a week so on my pond, right? And it's the same bridge that Domi Befaso Ako. So they said that we can't allow thousands of people go. What's that Ghana for your pond? Then you go here. But the nature of the bridge is such that they are done fast ebebu, but embu. Even though it's not structure, no, I just want to put it there. Say before we get into, I beg you, Mr.
I mean, could you? All side, no, because I also heard the report say ebuye.
Of course.
But like all the links you say on the side, check.
All the lady of free home.
This is why.
Me will be on also from A to Z. On my point.
But when him says a bridge ni buya.
Because I've spoken to one of the artists, a member of one of the artists.
Right.
Me person didn't who told me say bridge ni buya.
I'm almost fixé. Oh yes. No, I'm saying buya. I'm fixé.
I mean, because I say buya, would have seen videos of it.
Yeah.
Because the bridge was what was serving as a crossover between land and water.
Yeah.
It is a booyah. We would have seen videos going viral in that regard. You get
but I understand, sir. I'm on for now, so no. Bridge because it be you see the pesika. And I am sure it's about yes, what you're saying could be true.
Right.
Because bridge any moment to abo enti muna muntimi nko because I understand say the local people more honum say no maybe I'm so okay no untimi fabric so yeah do be fa ntima menji no agi obi nipa aha kakra so I'm saying just nia na wo kan say yapon no bia pentem say ba mu nyina mu ntimi nko because mu ko bridge ni bebu and you there this offer ha kojo ba o si wo there kojo si unyafo
oh me there me so me obi ana oh hanom a me ye pon ye and o si bridge ni bu ya te point because me makọ me onum venue hanom no say ne wo and even ube wuram kura na e ho chepa ba bia obi wuram e de be kwa ansa no wakoto sa bridge no e ho nyim nyina and venue de o fa hwedom akuku dam a o de o mo to so sa akode mu ne blash mu o parking space we who pick venue? These are the things that you look out for. So
because the artists use the same road as the patrons.
Exactly. There will not be enough parking space. And if you cry no, car pa ubenya free seven say upon say ya. Say you pa benya car. They am telling say Okada 100 cedis.
Yeah.
Ube free one no be call a kwan hono 100 cedis.
Yeah.
And these are all things that train don't be the one question baby you consider. But I say most organizers you know they almost fan yama way nyina almost fan kwa dream and one say yenya venue be ebi okra na free any
okay so I understand say Ministry of Tourism Art and Culture for need na one si bibi mentini bibi no menka bibi awa no bi anka bibi awa yen ka say program no part of the ministry's program Obianka said that part of the ministry's program.
Enti Abuni mu an ye kan say ne ka momu ne say. Ne ka momu ne say. They say o connect so a Google Ghana and sad stories we wo ho. And you see destination Ghana ho ba. It is how echo reading no mu say ye hanom no say event nye safer. Enu tell concern momo. If they have something they can do they should do it fast because obi over happy and so call internet already. It's no near kanye and yes or event ne mum no e kwa san ko travel tourism. I know who some near
Mapon kojo me da say olele bibi adu chat so 3 Music TV, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right.
The menu opinion kind and no. I think it's about time say some of these conversations are hard because we are entering into a season like never before. After what Global Citizen has done, the success of that concert or festival in Ghana is going to be a big invitation to other foreigners. And so you want to assure these people who are coming to town, say, their lives are are safe. You don't want to literally pay. You are paying to go enjoy life, but instead you pay for your life to be taken away from you or to be assaulted or your phone is going to be stolen or something else. Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Arts, I shall say some of these things they need to work with the events and they should also roll out press releases on how event organizers can work with them to ensure that some of these things are not happening, just to save the face of the tourism in the country.
Medasi papa Chris, you're welcome. This is your barbecue busiano.
Unse natile kasano kana kampesa me bemu kakra na eno se Ghana has your culture be say asembe bia ona aban no ana aban no na aban no well enema bi ohonoma the responsibility also rests on us to be proactive. We don't have to wait for abino na ye. Intimeka sakrampo meka say event organizers and shout out to say DJs. DJs have a body. You can find all DJs under one umbrella. I don't know about the event organizers and our promoters.
Event organizers almost association. Film association, but I know they.
Yes, so they can also work through their association and then petition the sector ministry and now say Ghana Tourism Authority instead of time biano. So I say train. And yes, now quite say gaming commission same with you. Gaming commission to all train industry. Ni say industry ni babe engage yom. Yes, yet outside na de biano blows ne missiles and kwani to tomorrow. Yeah, and we need to also be proactive.
Okay, all right. Tilly, you be at chat.
Na me person me share me phone ebisa say okay say na say mu ministry ni ka say all event everybody should be come and register some form of directory be obey event bia ntino ka eno ko hweso a chalote was so near ade And I think Sena Yebisa said whether going to give these event organizers any support. I know some conversation. I'm thinking that these were all part of the conversation. This is supposed to be an integral part of it. At least say mamu financial support in power. The other things that will make sure say we event be this December no. It has to be done. And then my question now is, why do they need people, the event organizers, to come and register? Is it just to showcase online to the outsiders? Say these are the events coming that we approve of, and I said to give them some form of support. And for me, say these are the events that you can come for in Ghana because it's approved by the ministry. That's my brother said to me, the ministry, you failed me because I trusted that this is the agency for them. I mean, this list is from the ministry, which means that whatever it will do to protect it, obey it. And to say me, banana say to me, what have me? What now? Me chance no, because on the real, I mean, quite tied rave if I don't see it there. You get it? So they should also man up and they should do better, Charlie.
That's it. Could you say wait?
Me say, it say, Emrabia no say oko event be say na be to abit me see organizers nana.
And so you there so between me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Astro World. Yeah. This guy.
Okay.
All right. So, Kojo King, Olele Salvador, Chris Chomana, and Oti Chile Nipa, and so Enka. Meko!